The movie starts with a police officer, Bogos Kaladzic, who is standing in front of a monster, a basilisk which he has no hope of defeating. He stands there as the hero not to protect himself, but to protect a young lady behind him, of whom, if he does, he will get a very great reward. However, the basilisk in front of him is up and ready to turn him into stone. It all starts about a few days ago. Bogos, who never expected to be in the situation he is in at that time, is in a boat with his uncle Bardacha around Warsaw. They are out fishing together, and as they fish, they notice their boat trembling. They assume it's a fish, and they continue fishing. After a long day fishing, they sit with their fish and open fire to smoke their meal. As they eat, Bardacha tells Bogos that he imagines he is a fish and he is going on his daily life swimming in the water, and suddenly he sees a hook, and he is captured. He is smoked, cooked, and eaten without anyone crying or grieving his death. How will he feel if he is in such a situation? Bogos tells Bardacha that if he is uncomfortable with their fishing, then the following day they will go for mushrooms instead. Bardacha, however, says mushrooms do not have nutritional value and it's not worth it, so they should go fishing. As they talk, Bogos notices some trucks by the road. He leaves Bardacha in the woods and goes to the road to check. He sees some trucks and the name Iron Mountain is written on the trucks. The truck drives away and he goes to meet Bardacha. He tells Bardacha about Iron Mountain, and Bardacha tells him there is no country like Iron Mountain. All they had is Iron City. After eating, they lay their beds by the woods and they sleep. That midnight, a plane flies over Bogos and he gets a dream. In the dream, he notices the sky becoming a stone and a mirror. The stone mirror starts cracking and he sees a pretty girl within it. Just as he wakes, he hears the sounds of a truck. He goes towards the road and sees a truck stuck in the sand, and the driver of the truck is the same lady he saw in his dream. He walks towards her asking to help her lift the car, but she doesn't give a response. She looks at him and drives her truck off. At least, Bogos learns a lesson, which is never to approach a lady you see in the dream. As he looks at her truck drive off, Bardacha comes to her. He tells him that is the same way his ex-wife pretended not to like him until they got married and had children together before their divorce. He comforts Bardacha and tells him it's not too late for him to move on. He keeps thinking about this random lady as they pack for their fishing. Coincidentally, he hears a radio broadcast about a casualty happening around Mazovian Voivodeship, and the entire city of the Mazovian Voivodeship is cut away from the country. The place is around where he is, and it's the direction the young lady is driving to. So he convinces Bardacha and asks that they go to check what is happening. Bardacha teases him and says he knows he is going there because of the girl, but he reluctantly follows him there. By the time he drives to where the Iron Mountain trucks are parked, Bardacha is fast asleep. Bogos subconsciously tells Bardacha that there is something odd at that place, but when he notices Bardacha is sleeping, he leaves the car himself to check. He sees some properties of the people and assumes they are from a support club. He brings out his police identity card, calling out for anyone who is there and telling them he is from the police department. However, no one answers him. He sees a deep hole and curiously, he sees a ladder inside the hole and he climbs into it. As he lands inside the hole, he sees a person who has been turned into stone, and the stone is staring at him. He slips in fear and falls down the cliff. He finds himself at the bottom of the hole and keeps screaming. Police assumes there are people there and comments they do not have fear for the police department. He walks to the deep part of the mountain, and at that point he notices several stones in the shape of humans. At least that's what he calls it until the realization of what's indeed happening becomes dawn on him. He sees stone standings and holding hands out like humans, and he eventually sees a person. The person runs towards him and asks him to run. He hides as he sees the person turn into stone right in his presence. He overhears a voice. The voice warns that they shouldn't come nearer as anyone who comes nearer will become a stone. He takes an instrument around to hit on the creature, and he sees the pretty young girl running toward him. He runs to her, but she warns him to leave. She tells him not to go there if he doesn't want to turn into a stone, but he runs there. He sees the two shining eyes of the creature, and he sees the creature walking toward him. Upon having a full view of the creature, he runs away. He escapes with the girl out of the hole, and they try to find help. The creature follows them. They both hide under one of the trucks as the creature keeps telling him to come out. Bogos throws a stone in another direction to distract the creature while asking a lady what they should do. She tells him to find a mirror and says the only thing that can be used to defeat a basilisk is a mirror. He eventually finds a mirror, and when the basilisk comes near him, the foolish Bogos throws the mirror at the creature and breaks it. The girl looks at him annoyingly and tells him he is meant to show the basilisk the mirror so he can look at himself and turn into stone. Fortunately, Bardacha wakes and uses their car to hit the basilisk. The creature falls into the hole. They become calm, thinking the creature has died, and Bogos introduces his uncle to the girl. As they talk, the creature comes back. The creative carries Bardacha and throws him off, and he uses his tail to throw Bogos away. Then the basilisk tries to convince the girl to look at his face, and she refuses to bring her head up. While on the ground, Bogos gets into another trance. In the trance, the picture of the girl inside the stony cracked sky disappears. He asks himself if that will be the end and if they will be finished by a mere chicken. He sees a sign on the palm he placed on the stony mirror sky, and he sees a phone beside him. He stands up and takes the phone beside him. He uses the mirror on the phone and points it directly at the creature's face. At this point, his body is already breaking out as he is also looking at the creature. He keeps showing the creature the phone until it turns into stone. After it does so, the lady and his uncle Bardacha come to meet him. Later that evening, the girls' team comes to evacuate their victims while Bogos sits with Bardacha. Bardacha tells him he is going back into public service, and Bogos is happy for him. The lady comes to him and tells him her team will contact him later. He asks her if that's all he will get, and she asks him what else he wants. He tells her he wants dinner, and she tells him to come on Sunday at a specified time. She warns him beforehand not to bring a flower for her, and she leaves. Well, maybe it ends happily afterward for the couple, and maybe not, as the post notes say Bogos was pestered by swarms of riff-raff. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to my channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.